Hi everyone, it's the Assyrian priestess with you. I hope this finds you well. I am going to do a Saturn in Aries reading. The planet Saturn has moved into the sign of Aries. And so this is going to be a major transit in the astrology, and it's happening in February. So what can we expect? What sort of word of warning can we get? I'm shuffling for some key cards from the Thoth deck, and then I will be using the Babylonian tarot. So first cut out the Chariot card. I feel like I want to actually choose more cards from this deck. This is the extra large size. I felt compelled to get, Chariot followed by the 10 of Pentacles. Can't say no to that. So what does Saturn in Aries have in store for us? I see that there is a great drive. You and the collective will gather up its resources, align its intentions, and drive forward. In a literal sense, this could be about new forms of technology, transport. You might even be getting a new car, or I don't know, advocating for better public transport in your community. The Chariot is a major arcana deck, and it is ruled by the sign of Cancer. So something that you drive towards now in this Saturn in Aries conjunction, and this conjunction will sort of stay, I think Saturn will stay in Aries for many years, like more than 10 years. Correct me in the comments, I think it might even be up to 15 years. And so this thing that you're driving towards may culminate in the season of Cancer, which is July. And, you know, there is wealth here for you. Or it is about wealth. It is about seizing wealth, building wealth, seeking wealth for yourself, your family, your community. Or it is a subject that is coming up. And so you might be an advocate for those who are less fortunate. You might be in the charity sector. But the signs are good. And here we have the Prince of Wands. How interesting. I can see a pentacle on his chest. So again, I feel like there's this drive for economic security, economic stability. The Prince of Wands in the Thoth deck is also seen riding a chariot. And in this case, though, a lion is leading the charge. So, you know, that brings up the season of Leo. So we've got July, August as maybe a point of, you know, a point of pivot for you. I can see the Cancerian crab on the Chariot card. Now, if we think of the Saturn moving into Aries as like an extended transit, then really I still see the theme of driving towards better economic prosperity and wealth is a theme for you and the collective in the next decade. We've also got the number 10, and 10 of discs, when you look at it as a time thing, is also 10 years. So, you know, have you thought about where you're going to be in 10 years' time, what your financial economic goals are for 10 years, you know, or when your children turn 10, you know, there's so many ways we could read this. I really love that Lady Frida Harris, who did the artwork on Thoth deck that Crowley designed, has got the pentacles in the Tree of Life. So, you know, the search for economic prosperity, security, and comfort is not antagonistic to getting your own body, mind, and spirit into spiritual alignment, which, you know, the Kabbalists taught via the Tree of Life. The Assyrians did too, believe it or not. And there's an excellent academic paper you can get on the Assyrian Tree of Life by Seymour Papola, the Swedish Assyriologist, who I believe is still alive and writing and researching and working. So, magnificent man. 10 of Arrows, 8 of Wands, and Strength. Now, the 10 of Arrows covers the Chariot card. And what I suspect is happening here is you are driving towards this search for the 10 of Pentacles because of a major loss. The 10 of Arrows here, the key word is ruin. You could have actually experienced bankruptcy, divorce, retrenchment, or being fired from a position. You've lost a lot. And the 10 of Swords is not just one event. The 10 of Swords can often be multiple events over multiple weeks that cause this kind of like chronic stress or compounded trauma. And it's not the best place to find yourself, but we as the collective, we're finding ourselves here. And it does bring up wounds from the past, like 10 of Swords. It brings up all of the swords that you've ever gone through, because it's like, oh, not again. How did I get here again? Why couldn't I prevent this, etc. But there's a symbol of hope in this card, which I really like, which is the Assyrian symbol of the star, the sun, and the rivers. The four-pointed star, you can see, some call it the sun. It's a mystical image that is still revered by Assyrians today, and you can see it in the top hand corner there. It's like, fret not, the gods are with you. And the next card confirms that quite swiftly, quite quickly, possibly unexpectedly. New inspiration, new communication, new ideas, new opportunities will come to you. And we've got the 8 and the 8, both quite auspicious cards. The Chariot card is also no, here it's a 7. Sorry, I lie. I was going to say the Chariot card is also a number 8. I believe in some decks it is, and the Thoth deck infamously has swapped the Chariot and the Justice card. So let me know in the comments if that's your forte. I know many of you are sort of Crowley enthusiasts. But we end with the Strength card. So this is a season of overcoming. Now, Saturn as a planet is the wise, benevolent father figure. And he can be tough, excuse me, but he is benevolent. And the drive in Aries is the drive in fire. So the theme really is using our fiery will to get smart about the future. Like Saturn as a wise father figure, he's going to be the one who talks to you about the long game and the long term, and getting wise about investing and your health and all of those things. So I feel like that really shows up in the Strength card. Here we have the 5 of Cups, loss, the Cherub of Arrows, and one more card, please, for Saturn in Aries. So again, it's interesting. See how the cards layer over the same theme? So here, the Chariot and the 10 of Swords is now covered with the 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups really, I know it's not a great card. No one loves getting the 5 of Cups. Unless you really think about it like this. This loss that you've experienced, this devastation or this grief, was it really something that you wanted? Was it really something that was going to give you benefit? Because in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the Five of Cups character has just become sober from a period of addiction. And so that's hard. There's grief there. He can no longer turn to the old addictions of wine that he did in the past. And so he needs to renew himself via something that actually fulfills him. So that's really the message with the Five of Cups is, yes, you've lost something that has left you in a state of grief, has left you in a state of despair, possibly financial ruin, and I'm sorry if that has happened to you. The question now remains is what would really fulfill you, because it's up to you to go and get it. But it is available to you. So let's see, Saturn in Aries. Okay, we've got like a whole stack coming out. Should we take them? Yeah, let's take them. We've got the Two of Swords. This not knowing where to go, needing to trust our intuition, possibly even needing to negotiate with others. And like the Strength card also alludes to an other. It's not doing things alone. There is another figure that the figure in the Strength card is grappling with. Usually a beast. So it's there's an energy of kind of creative antagonism, conflict, you know. So yeah, there's some conversations to be had, a treaty to be signed. Possibly a contract about your path forward, because there is a new path for you that you can create the life that you want in a community that you choose. And we have Three of Pentacles in the shadow. So Saturn in Aries feels to me like a real wise use of your will. The Magician as well is the first person the Fool meets on his journey. So in the tarot deck, we have this central figure of the Fool, here shown as Enkidu, who is the innocent. He's the innocent child raised by the forest. And he starts out on this great adventure. He doesn't realize what his fortune holds. The first person he meets on his journey, of course, is the number 1 card, the Magician. Now, the Magician card is the person who teaches the Fool that you can make whatever you want happen with what you find at hand. The question is, what do you want to build? What skills do you need? What allies do you need to make this happen? And I see that with the Four of Wands. I feel like in our modern society, we uphold the archetype of the magician as, you know, the self-made millionaire and, you know, the guy who did everything on his own. But the Four of Wands actually says you can only build the life you want with community, with family. So don't think you have to do this all by yourself. Who are the people you need to have conversations with? Two of Swords tells me that. There's a conversation that needs to be had. The Strength card tells me that. There's a beast you must tame. Is it an inner beast? Maybe. Usually. Is it someone out there? Yes. Even the Prince of Wands here, that chariot doesn't move without the lion helping him ride. So there is a real theme, Saturn in Aries, of don't think because of the Aries energy that this all falls on you, or that somehow you need to magically make everything happen all on your own. Saturn in his wisdom will teach us in this transit that the concept of self-made is flawed, and that actually we are community made. So I'll leave you with that. Tell me what you think. I hope this resonates. I wonder if this message actually aligns to the collective message. I'll certainly be tuning in. Let me know in the comments what the collective is kind of feeling into with this transit. Your likes, your shares, your, any support that you give goes really a long way, helps this channel to grow. It means a lot. But if not, I will leave you with my love and courage until we meet again. Bye for now.